guys, it is Elisa, or wait, what's my name? Hi guys, it is Elisa here, or the Diamond Stitcher as I go by on YouTube and Instagram. Hello, good morning or good afternoon, whatever time it is you are watching this video. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Now, the camera may shake a bit because if you do not know, I diamond paint on the couch, on a lap desk, and when I do film WIP and Chats, I just stay here because if I could go to the counter and diamond paint there, but it's really uncomfortable for me and I can't do it very long. So what I do is I attach a filming arm to this table, and because we're on a couch, when I move, the table moves and the camera can shake a little bit. So hopefully you're not watching the screen too much and it doesn't make you feel kind of seasick. Where do I even begin? Yesterday, I thought I have so much to talk about. I need to film a WIP and Chat today because my husband's at work. And now it's today and I'm like, I can't even think. I am so tired. It is 8 a.m. on a Saturday morning, but my dog woke me up early around 5 o'clock out of the most deepest sleep ever, and I am tired and my brain is actually not even turned on yet, but I have decided I want to sit down and get some diamond painting done, and why don't I film a WIP and Chat now? Because my energy just dissipates over the day. So I'm just gonna do this. Whoops, Siri, off. How do you get Siri to go away? Go away. There we go. Sorry, Siri turned on when I turned my phone. Must have pushed a button. Anyway, this is the kit I'm working on right now. It's Fabiola by artist Richard Lorenz and Diamond Art Club. You kind of see this. I just print out a copy of the sticker sheet, or I should say I copy it before I kit up. That way I have a paper legend here so I can see all the symbols instead of looking at the canvas where some of them are cut off because I paint on a table. This little minder up in the top corner here, isn't that cute? This is from Agnes Little Minders. Now, they are an expensive shop. This is completely handmade from scratch by the owner. If you are somebody who likes cover minders and you like some fancy things, you know, I would get I'd recommend trying them out. They are quite expensive though, because they are completely handmade, but it's just a work of art and she does a really good job. I only have a couple and I pulled this one out for this kit because it had the pinks in it and I thought it matched. I usually use a cover minder to hold this paper on my canvas. I also actually use these cover minders here, and I've actually just added an extra magnet on the back to make it a little bit stronger, because what I have on my light pad are two magnets on the corners, and I actually use these guys on the top. There's another one on the other side. Where are we? There we are. To hold my canvas on my table so it doesn't kind of move around. I guess I could. What am I doing? Move the camera back. I also got this fancy name one on a shop on Etsy. I had seen somebody with one and I thought that's such a good idea. I like that idea. So I went on Etsy and I found one. Let me just make the camera stay. So why don't I pour diamonds before I forget? Actually, you know what? I'm going to show you a few small shop goodies I've gotten recently. In the past couple weeks, I've actually, usually what I do, because I do have a YouTube channel, when I order from small shops and the packages arrive, I put them on top of my dresser in the bedroom. When I have a few packages from a couple shops, usually 3 or 4 shops, then I'll film a small shop haul. But I don't know, over the holidays, I am really tired. My health is really exhausting me right now. Could be that, could also be the weather and just not feeling well. I also found out I'm fighting an infection, so that could be why I feel so crappy as well. Also, my iron apparently is in the boots, so I have to start taking iron pills. So yeah. Anyway, what was I doing? I was going to show you some small shop stuff. So I bought them from a few small shops, and I think I have most of the stuff here. This is a shop I've seen some of my USA friends post and share about. It's called Pure Bliss Wax Company, CO, on Etsy, 100% handmade. They make putty for diamond painting. That's in the packages on the left, and then on the right is a wax. And this looks like, to me, I haven't tried this wax yet, but it does look like a hard beeswax, And that is something I like using with my ABs. It would be easy to get your single placer in there. I do like using it in a multi-placer too, so that would be difficult, but single placer would be good. I thought I would add it on because, as I said, this is a USA small shop, so shipping is expensive. It's probably 20-something dollars just for these 3 things, but I wanted to try them out and show some support. I've not tried their products yet, and I do believe I did, yeah, I did put some in one of my pens here, so we can try it out. Just wanted to switch it up. Usually, my go-to putty shops now, there's a couple Canadian shops, Creations Marin and J&L Crafty Creations. So I usually have their putty, but sometimes it's nice to switch it up and try something new, especially a newer shop. I also picked up these cute things from Bee's Crafty Corner. She is a small shop on Etsy. She is in Canada as well. She makes printed release paper, and when I knew I was going to be doing this kit, I thought I should get some. This just came, I think, yesterday, so I haven't had a chance to put it on. As you can see, I have my Amazon release papers, but I thought it would be cute. She is a sponsor of, I guess I should say, the Richard Lorenz diamond painting event. I don't know if that's what it's actually called. It's hashtag Richard Lorenz 24, I believe. Cindy Schwind is a member of the community, is hosting it. She's got a Facebook group. I'll try and remember to link it below. The events is, you just have to work on one of Richard Lorenz artworks. And I had this painting. I got this painting for Christmas, so I thought I would support and get some matching release papers. And then I saw this one, and I just thought it was so cute. Now, what canvas did I think? I don't know what canvas I got this for. I did see it and I thought of one of my canvases and now I'm blanking, but I did get this. These are actually smaller than what I normally do, but I thought I would try them because I've been finding lately that I don't quite get finished this entire section, usually when I diamond paint. So I want to try some smaller release papers. What else did I get? Now, this did arrive in something else, but I actually, I already unboxed this, but this is called WIP Sticky Putty. It's from an Etsy shop called Stark Nonsense, and it's like the pink wax, but it's different. I have put this in one of my pens to try. It's the unscented version, but she does have scented stuff. And the one thing I really wanted to show you, actually, I think there's 2 things. Did I unbox this one? I don't know if I did yet. So this pen is one of my new arrivals. This came from MTN Inspirations, which is a USA small shop. They are on Etsy, and when I saw this, I just loved it. I've been looking for a hybrid with wood, and when I saw this one, it had flowers in it too. I did, my jaw dropped. So I did purchase it. It also has some pearl in here. I like these extra inlays, and I think they turned this pen really nice. It suits the blank very well. They are more expensive pens, but I haven't bought from them very often. Maybe this is the 2nd or 3rd time, and I saw this one and I thought that's the hybrid I want. So we have this, and in here is actually where I put the putty from Pure Bliss Wax Company. So I will try to remember to use this. But this pen, look at this. Isn't this cute? This is a lot tinier than I thought it would be, but it's perfect because if you know me, I like these small pens because they're a lot easier to flip when you're going back between single placing and multi-placing. But this is from a shop called Elite VP Pens. She is based in the Philippines. It is actually quite expensive to get them shipped, but she does kind of set up group orders so that a few people can go in on the same order. There is one person who is the kind of distributor, for the lack of a better word. So I went in with one other person, Joni actually, which is the owner at Creations Marin. And we both got a pen on this drop. Hers is packaged in an envelope, so I'm not going to open that. It's not mine to open, but I can't wait to see which one she got, but I got this cute one. Inside is, you call this kind of like a lava pen, or I think the owner calls it an anhydro, meaning there's water inside. And then she has all sorts of fun stuff. There's glitter, there's flower sequence in there, lots of purple. I love purple. Purple's my favorite color. And then I really liked she has this kind of lacy looking inclusion there. And then it looks like she's also put some stickers in the resin as well. Looks very pretty, so I'm really happy with this. Pricing wise, I can't quite remember. These are more I would say premium diamond painting pen, more of a luxury pen. They are 100% handmade, so they're not made with one of those lathe machines. These are handmade with molds and lots of layers and lots of time. So it is like art, I think. And then of course shipping from the Philippines is to ship one pen to Canada is $80. So it is better if you go in on a group order. I know she is interested in doing a group order to Canada. So if you are interested in some of her designs, I did post her shop link in my group before. If you search Elite VP Pens on Facebook, her group will pop up. You can pop in her group, see what kind of pens she makes, message her to get a custom done. If she does do drops from time to time, though they do sell very fast, but she does customs. So you can sign up for some customs. And then if there's a few Canadians, of course, that $80 shipping fee will be divided in how many ever go in on the group buy. So, yeah, this is one of those shops that, you know, again, if you like fancy things and you're somewhat of a accessory collector, just like the minder I showed you, I think having a pen from this shop is, for a pen collector, is necessary. Is that the right word? I don't know. But I'm very happy. I have two pens now, one in pink and one in purple. But when I saw, actually, I have the pink one right here. Look at that. I could show you this again. This one is pink. Let me just get the stuff moving. There it goes. This one has rose quartz, or no, I think there's pink tourmaline in here. There might be rose quartz too. This is the first pen I ever got from her. It's a bit bigger. You can see. So now I have a regular size and a mini pen, so that's perfect. I was happy with this pen. You know, as I said, they're more of a luxury brand, but when I saw the purple, I had to message her and get on that. So happy with my two selections from her. Again, these pens are really nice. I think you can see the shine in the video. Like, there's no imperfections at all. They're very well made. Yeah, I'm just gonna take a sip of water. I think that's it for stuff that I wanted to show you that I had bought. As I said, usually I put things aside and, sorry, grabbing a tray. Usually I put things aside and film a small shop haul, as I said, but I can't even see this diamond painting space. Hold on, I'm going to move this up out of my line of sight. Oh my God, Siri's back. Go away. This is how not to film a WIP and Chat, you guys. Be prepared. There, that's better. I can see now. Let me pour some diamonds. If you diamond paint on a couch like me, you know that it can be a little bit crazy to get set up, and if only you could see what I'm doing here. But that's okay. Whatever works. I used to have a desk actually set up behind me, and I used to have like 70 tray tower system where I kit up into trays. I didn't have baggies. I didn't have to pour diamonds back and forth. But when I got sicker, I could no longer actually sit up. At the time, I didn't know I had something called dysautonomia, so my automatic nervous system doesn't work, and part of that means that I'm basically allergic to gravity. Some days are good, some days I don't have any symptoms, some days are bad. Usually when I've overdone it the day before, or sometimes it's delayed if I've overdone it that week. Sometimes I have like 3 good days in a row, and then by the 4th one I am exhausted, and today is kind of, I'm feeling like one of those days. You know, I said the dog woke me up early, but my brain is still sleeping. I feel dopey. Sleep like I could go back to bed, but I'm up now. So it's also a gloomy day, so it's still dark out. Kind of dark. It's gray. So that never helps. I always find when it's a sunny day, it's a lot easier to get up and get going, but where was I even going to start? So yes, I am doing this painting for Cindy's event. I'm also kind of participating in another friend's event. Lindsay over at Life with Lindsay does the Alice in Winter Wonderland event in January to February 14th. Any Alice in Wonderland painting. The winter is just because of the time of the year. Your painting does not need to be winter. It needs to be Alice themed, which this painting is. So I may just kind of join in her event just for fun. I think her event is a little more laid back, as I've said before. But yeah, I'm working on this for that. I often actually don't participate in events like officially. Like I usually don't sign up. If events have prizes and stuff, I usually don't sign up. I just join in to support the creator or whoever's hosting the event, and also just to kind of build community with others. It's about diamond painting together and kind of gathering around a common interest. A lot of events will have a specific theme, right? So this one is Richard Lorenz, for example, for Cindy's. So everybody who loves these crazy birds gets together and has fun diamond painting for 2 months, I think. So yeah, if you've never done an event, they are fun. The thing to note is that all events are run differently. A lot of you may have participated in my event. I tend to be quite organized. It's just the way I work. And I, for example, post weekly progress posts where you post your WIP, and that's how you enter for prizes. Whereas other events aren't like that. You'll see some event hosts, they host it mainly on YouTube. And to enter for weekly prizes, you just have to comment on their video and do what they say. There's usually a keyword to put in. And they might have a Facebook group, but you do not need to post in it. That's just if you want to share with others and build community there. But it's otherwise based mostly on YouTube. And then there's others like Life with Lindsay. Her event is based mostly on Instagram. So events can vary greatly. If you are interested in participating in events, just ask, search the featured posts. That's usually where, if there is a Facebook group where the important things are, like the rules and expectations and what you have to do to enter for prizes, etc. Just, don't be afraid to ask. As I said, all events are a little bit different. And I know I've seen a few people in the Be the Bird event, that I know that they've participated in my events and they're asking where's the such and such post, but not all event host the same way, right? We all have our strengths and weaknesses and everybody's a little bit different. So don't be afraid to ask questions, even just generally in groups, because there are usually a lot of community members that maybe have previously done the event in previous years, or maybe they just have been around from the beginning and they're very well versed in the rules and such, and they can help too. So never be afraid to ask. But yeah, I usually don't participate in events. The main reason is because I don't do good with timelines in my diamond painting. Like, events usually go from a specific start date to an end date. Some events require a finished canvas. If it's a 2-month event, usually I can finish a regular sized canvas like this with no problem, but there are times where I haven't finished it for a variety of reasons. Maybe my health wasn't very good that month and I didn't get as much diamond painting done. And then there are events that are a bit shorter. So you can have 1 month events. 1 month, 6 week, or 2 month is the most common types of event you'll see. And then some events are year long. We are doing I wouldn't call it an event. I called it a challenge in my Facebook group, which is now DAC Fans Canada. We just changed the name. Nothing else changed about it. We just went back to the original name. And it's called the 2024 Challenge. We basically created, I think there's 6 categories, so 6 diamond paintings. If you want to participate, there are 6 diamond paintings you need to complete throughout 2024. There is no timeline. You can complete them in whichever order you want, how fast or how slow you want. But it has to be 6 separate paintings, each meeting the categories. I've made the categories pretty inclusive so that most people can join. They are for licensed artwork only, so that's the only kind of excluding factor. I know not everybody can afford a lot of licensed artwork. For that, I'm sorry, but licensed artwork is really important in the community. So I like supporting it because I can, and I encourage those who can also to support it in any way you can too. You can also support just by sharing licensed artwork, right? Sharing artists' Instagrams or profiles, or giving if they have a If they have an active social media platform, giving them likes and follows and share with friends, that's also a way to help support artists if you're not able to, you know, for example, buy a lot of licensed paintings. Let me just find my next color here and take a sip of water. My mouth is so dry. I had to start on an antibiotic, and I have not had to take an antibiotic since I was a kid. I used to get ear infections like crazy. I would end up in a merge in the middle of the night screaming in agony as a child. I think it was because my parents used to smoke. As soon as they quit smoking, I stopped getting those ear infections, but I used to be like round-the-clock infections. Always showing up. As soon as one antibiotic was done, it wouldn't take long before I got another infection. Those things were painful. It's not an ear infection this time, but I am on an antibiotic, and I don't like being on antibiotics. They upset my stomach, and obviously it's given me a very dry mouth, so I may need a lot of water breaks during this video. I'm not sure how long we're going to talk for. I mean, WIP and Chats tend to go for about an hour. I actually don't time myself. Some people do. I just talk, and I usually end up running out of things to say between the 45 and 60-minute mark, so that's usually, I also start to get winded. That's enough time of me talking. But yeah, I did want to update people. I looked back at my channel, and I think my last update was my Christmas premiere video. So that I kind of made a unboxing and a little bit of a WIP and Chat where I did give a little bit of an update, but I don't think I filmed anything since. So we'll start at, I guess, December 26th evening, because if I remember correctly, the Christmas premiere, it was kind of an SOS. The person organizing it, Crafts with Crashly, needed a fill-in. So I did, I have the unboxing already filmed, but I did quickly film a half-hour WIP and Chat for that video that day. So in the evening on December 26th, me and my husband and my parents went to my sister's for Christmas dinner, just because my husband worked over the actual Christmas holiday. So we did family dinner on the 26th. It went well. It was a lot of fun. I did pretty well, actually. I was pretty impressed. Usually those kind of things take a lot out of me. I was definitely more tired the next day, but I wouldn't say that I crashed. Sometimes if I overdo it, what I call it is a crash. Essentially, my body is, I'm kind of mostly bedbound for 3 days after I overdo it. 3 days is usually what it takes my body to recover. And it's just because my body doesn't use energy the way it does, I'm going to say, in a healthy person. So it takes my body a lot more energy for things that some people might consider simple and easy and fun. So I think I was tired the next day, but otherwise it was okay. Dinner was really good. We watched, it was funny, Mamma Mia 1 and 2, I think. My sister's husband, I say husband, they are common law, but husband, that's his favorite show apparently, which is kind of funny because he's a big, when you look at him, you don't think of that, like, yeah, if you saw a picture, you would kind of chuckle too that that's his favorite video, but that's funny. So we watched that. I actually never saw Mamma Mia 2, so that was cool. But they have a giant dog. Actually, he's not giant compared to Zoe. He's giant. He is, what is he? English bulldog? Is that what he's called? No, French. I think he's a French bulldog. But he is stocky. He is so muscular. He looks like he's on testosterone, like steroids. He's big. And I think he's 3 now, I think she said, but he's got the energy of a puppy, and oh my God, he left bruises on my legs. Small ones, but they're still there a couple weeks after Christmas. But he's so full of energy and life. That was fun. It kind of cheered me up. And yeah, that's what we did. And then what did we do on the 27th? I don't think we did anything because I was recovering from that night. Actually, I had a really hard time falling asleep that night because I went over when I usually go to bed. I don't know. It's like I'm a kid. If I don't go to bed on schedule, then you kind of get that second wind, and then I have a lot of trouble falling asleep. So I actually didn't sleep good. But that seems to be back on track now. And then the rest of the year, I don't think we really did anything. I'm just gonna flip back in my calendar. I have a little like calendar planner thing that I'm supposed to write notes down so I don't forget things, and I don't use it. Usually when I go to film a WIP and Chat, I will quickly fill in what I remember. And of course, I do not remember everything. I really need to do better at taking notes. Because you might be diamond painting one day, or you're watching a video and a thought pops in your head that would be good to discuss with you guys, and I don't write it down, usually because I'm when I diamond paint, if you could see me, it's like I'm stuck in a prison here on the couch. So yeah, when I think of things, if I don't have my phone to take notes or a piece of paper handy, then I just forget. By the time I get up, I forget. So going into, let's go back to January. Yeah, the end of December, we did, I did see my stepson on December 30th. We took him to my in-laws just to have a little Christmas with them. We just had a lunch, nothing fancy, just grilled cheese. That's what, and craft dinner. He likes craft dinner, but we hung out with him on the 30th. We always come back after and play some video games. He's really into basketball, so he's got the NBA game or whatever it is, and it's fun to watch him play. The kind of surreal thing is he's gonna be 13, I believe 13 in March. I'm pretty certain it's 13 in March, and his mom sent over secondary school paperwork to fill out. It's so hard to believe he's going into secondary school because he's so little. He's I don't know, he's not what I was like at that age. I know girls mature much faster, but I remember myself being more mature at that age. I kind of bypassed the kid stage, I think, just because I just grew up very fast. I don't know, my mom always called me an old soul. But yeah, it's kind of surreal. I remember my first memories of him was he was under 1 year old and he could not talk yet. That was the first time I met him, and playing with a baby toy. I can't remember what you call it, but it was really fun. He from that day, he really liked me. He always brought his toys to me to play with, so that was really cool. But now thinking of him going into secondary school, it's like, where did 12 years go? I'm no farther along in my life. Of course, that's because of my injury and my health. We had a lot of plans that we just haven't been able to make come true, like, buying a house and my dream job, and, perhaps moving to a cheaper province where it doesn't rain as much. And, how we had all these plans in our head, but yeah, 12 years, it's just crazy. So I guess he will be going into secondary school next year, or I guess come September. So that's kind of, I'm anxious for him. I'm sure he's excited. I know when I was a kid, I switched schools all the time. So after elementary school, I switched districts. So I lost all of my friends. And after middle school, I switched districts for high school and lost all of my friends. Whereas he is in a Catholic school, and he has been with the same group of kids since kindergarten. And now they're all moving over to the same secondary school. So it must be really nice to have those relationships and stability in his life. I always had to make new friends. I just remember that being very difficult as a child, right? Especially when you get to high school, because everybody already has their friend groups and cliques, and it's kind of, where do you belong? And I remember being very hard, so it must be pretty awesome for him to be with the same group of friends this entire time and build those strong connections that he will probably have for life. It's pretty awesome. And then January came, New Year's Day. We did nothing. My husband looks like he was off. Yeah, we did nothing. We did our usual. I diamond painted. His hobby is making music. Him and his friends are in kind of a band. I always forget what music they do because all of his friends are in bands, and this band now, they are creating different kind of music. I think it's like I honestly, I don't know. Hip hop, rap. He doesn't rap. He makes the background tracks. He's really good at it. But I know one of his friends has become an artist recently, and I released an album or is releasing an album, and he's a rapper, so they get together for that. And then also, I don't know what you classify the other music as, alternative maybe? And then they do that. I always forget. My memory is really bad. But that's his hobby. As I'm diamond painting all day, he is making music most of the day. So we each have our own hobbies. So that's what we did on New Year's Day. That's our happy place. And then he had to work the next day. I'm actually filming this on the 6th of January. On Wednesday the 3rd, I had to see my doctor. And that's when I was diagnosed with an infection. I had to start those antibiotics. It's just a short course of antibiotics. Hopefully it clears up soon. But I'm also hoping that's maybe why I've been feeling so crappy lately. You know, when you are chronically ill and you're always sick and you never feel good, what is it called? When doctors dismiss you. What's that word? There's a word that people of the chronic illness community use a lot. Gaslight. When you're sick yourself, you gaslight yourself a lot. Because you're used to being sick. So when something's actually wrong, you don't know it. You don't get it checked out because you're always sick anyway. So you just attribute whatever current thing you're going through to one of your conditions, right? So I'm guilty of that all the time. I definitely gaslight myself all of the time. I've probably been fighting an infection for a couple of weeks, actually. And it's nice to know that there actually was an issue that can be fixed. So hopefully, I'm hoping some of the reason why I've been feeling so tired lately and poor sleep and just feeling icky is that, and that will go away. I've also started taking the iron supplements now. I found one that works with me. They can, I guess, cause a lot of GI upset, stomach upset. And the one that the doctor gave me to try did upset my stomach a lot. I would take it at night, and then I'd wake up looking like I was 10 months pregnant because of just that iron pill. It just did not agree. I think my stomach had a hard time digesting it or processing it. So this one I found is different, and yeah, I haven't noticed any side effects. So hopefully I can start taking it regularly and get my iron up, because that would be amazing. If most of my fatigue is because of that, again, something that I gaslit myself for a long time, because while I have many problems with my health, most of them don't require frequent blood work. So unless we're doing blood work for some reason, and the reason she wanted to do blood work is just as a general checkup. It had been a while. I think the last time I had blood work was when I had surgery, and something about my vitamin D level. She asked me how much vitamin D I took a day, and it was a very high amount, because at some point in my nursing career, we were educated on vitamin D, and most people need 5,000 to 10,000 units a day. So I would kind of take that. And she's like, actually, you're probably overloaded in vitamin D, and it actually can also make you feel quite sick. So we checked my level, which I had to pay for because in Canada it's not covered. Some blood work is covered in Canada, but that one's not. And yeah, mine was really high. So I stopped taking vitamin D altogether. And even we checked my blood work again, probably 3 or 4 months later, and it was still high. So I know it must have been extremely high before. So I stopped taking vitamin D, but that's why. And then she just tested everything, like cholesterol, iron, all of the things you could test. She just said, let's test it all. Plus, I also had that scare, I think it was in November, where they thought I might have a blood clot. It actually turns out it could have been 2 reasons why that blood work was high. If doctors think you have a blood clot, they can do blood work. And if the blood work marker is high, it's usually suspicious of a clot, and then they do ultrasounds or other testing. I had an ultrasound on my leg. It didn't have any clots, but my D-dimer was kind of it was high. It was in the high range, but not as high as you usually see with a clot. So it happened that that's when I actually was dealing with COVID. I hadn't been symptomatic yet, so it could have been because my body was, fighting COVID, and that level was high. Also, I had a procedure at the time that involved injecting sugar water into my brachial plexus, the nerves of my arm, and the surgeon said that could have caused a higher clot level. We didn't think of that because it's just a small procedure. It's basically a small needle poke. I mean, they are injecting things in there. I guess there would be inflammation, and the body would need to clot off the area. But when I with my knowledge, I didn't expect that. To me, the level was higher. I would think more with surgery, maybe it would be a bit elevated, but he said it could have been. So that is an update on that. Still no clots. They think we actually didn't test it again because that test is actually expensive on the healthcare system. So I did have it retested at some point and it was the same. So we just kind of left it. I'll probably get it tested again at some point though. It will be interesting to see if it went down and it was because of the COVID, but could also be why I'm still feeling out of sorts and stuff because long COVID. I kind of already have long COVID even before I got COVID because some of the conditions I have are the conditions that have been developing in long COVID syndrome. So kind of funny, but my husband thinks he's dealing with it. He just has not been the same since COVID. Even, I noticed this morning as he was getting ready for work, his mood has been different since getting COVID too. I don't know if it's because he's just so tired and exhausted all the time. It's just definitely does not have the energy he used to have, and definitely I can tell that it does affect his mood. He's a lot more irritable and just does not look happy, and then he gets mad at me when I ask him what's wrong. Sorry for being a nice wife, right? Anyway, taking a sip of water. As I said, in this multi-placer I'm using, this is the DAC multi-placer. It's probably the 8. I'm using the putty from Pure Bliss. Which one is it? This one. This one, black amber and lavender. The smell is really nice. I really like it, and it's not too strong, which is good if you're sensitive. Like here, I can't smell it, but if I pull it up and sniff, I can smell it. So that's it's not strong. That's nice. I'm actually really liking this putty. Actually, I haven't been fiddling with it too much. Sometimes a lot of the putty can go over the sides and you have to keep, putting it back on top, or it stops picking up the diamonds nicely. But I've been diamond painting here quite well. Just checking for any more of this symbol. I really like this putty. So if you are in the States, or if you're Canadian who likes shopping elsewhere, sometimes supporting some of our small shop businesses, I do like this putty actually quite a bit. I may order some at another date. I should show you the size that she sends is actually a good size. This will last quite a while. Scent and release paper, and this one she's added some colors to. Don't mind the look of it. That's just from me stabbing it. But yeah, it's a good chunk of putty. It looks like it got smushed or like melted a little bit in packaging or in shipping, which is normal. Just the heat from the shipping truck or process, whatever. Let me find another. Oh, you can really smell that when you open the bag. That's beautiful. Anyway, let me find another color before I keep talking. Let me know how you guys are doing. I always talk to you and update you guys, but I still read each and every one of your comments. I usually try to acknowledge them all too. Very rarely I don't. I might be late to acknowledge them. I used to sit down every morning with my laptop, answer all the comments every single morning. I don't do that as much anymore. Sometimes it's a couple days before I sit down, and then I just sit down and do all of them. It just depends how I'm feeling. A lot of the time lately, I've been extremely tired, and in the morning, it takes a while for my body to actually wake up and get up and go. So I haven't been as on it, but I still do sit down and answer them all. So let me know how you're doing, what you're up to, what diamond painting you're working on this week. If you are participating in any of the January events, are you participating in this one? I say be the bird because these release papers had hashtag be the bird, but it's actually hashtag Richard Lorenz 24 is the event hashtag. Definitely let me know. I'm just as I'm placing here, I thought maybe I should talk to you guys about. I've had some comments like, how do you get your squares so nice? Okay, so number one, you need a good tray. This tray is from Yellow Dog Designs. They are a Canadian company on Etsy. They do ship worldwide. Shipping rates, of course, will vary, but you can message the owner. She is very nice. Her name is Carrie. If you have any questions on shipping, but these trays are awesome. It's the one tray that I grab every time I sit down. And as you can see, they line up these squares so nicely, and that's really important when you are placing with square diamonds. The other thing you need is a nice multi-placer. I use only the Diamond Art Club ones now. I do really recommend them. You can add them on to one of your future orders. I recommend the 6 or the 8. You can get a lot of multi-placing done with those sizes. I believe this one is the 8. And yeah, when I go to pick up diamonds, one, you make sure that they're all nice and tight together. I actually pick them up at kind of an angle. I don't know if you noticed that. What this does is it helps me push them against the line in the tray to make sure that they are nice and straight on that edge. Also, when I go to place them, I can see them poking out a little bit, so I feel like I can see better with placing. I don't have to cock my head to the side to see. So that's why I kind of pick them up on the angle. You can kind of see there as well. See how they're kind of like that? So that's how I pick them up. And then when I go to place them down, I usually place this one closest to me first. And then you kind of, I roll them down. Sometimes you might have to scooch them in or push one down to click it into place. But generally, that's how I do it. And that's, you know, with anything, the more you do it, the better you get. So the more practice, the better you get. I do remember struggling like everybody in the beginning, and I just watched lots of tips and tricks videos and just practice. But again, you can see how I kind of pick up the diamonds. I do pick them up on kind of a slant. That just seems to be what works for me. And I can get them pretty straight. Now, I don't even go through with a ruler after to straighten them even more. I'm happy with my placement as it is. So yeah, I thought I would just mention that. As you know, when you work with light colors, you can really see the lines a bit more. So that's why I thought I'd mention that. And now I forget where I left off. Actually, looking at my calendar, I just realized this morning that we had my cat's birthday and we completely forgot. Not that we ever do anything. We just say it's a cat's birthday, happy birthday. But my cat turned 14 on Thursday, so that's the 4th of January. I can see the age in her face now. I was noticing the other day when she's sitting here up above me on the couch. She likes to sit on the back of the couch, and I can see in her little face all her little white hairs. You can just see the age. She is a healthy cat, thankfully. I do want to take her into the vet just to get a checkup. There's nothing wrong. I'm not concerned about anything, but I do want her to live a long and healthy life because she is the best cat I think I will ever have. She is so loving, so caring, very attentive, and she's always been good. You know, never peed outside of the litter box. Always eats her food. She lines up for chicken if we're cooking chicken for dinner. As soon as she smells it or hears the oven beep and she knows that it's done, she's up. And she's just like the dog sitting there waiting for her piece. It's really cute. So, yeah. And Zoe's birthday is actually this month as well, but on the 20th. So, again, we don't really do anything for her. When she was a puppy, I used to go to the store and get her like a puppy treat that was like happy birthday. Some pet stores have them, usually like the small shop pet stores, little treats that say happy birthday with special icing on it or something. But she's so tiny that she actually can't bite into them. They're too hard. So we don't do anything different. It's just acknowledging our kids are growing up. They're into their senior years now. And as far as I know, Zoe's really healthy. She does have issues with her teeth. She's had to have quite a few pulled. That's just a small dog problem. They all often have trouble with their teeth. She's had one or two cysts removed. They were all benign. They're just like fatty cysts, but the last one was quite big and it grew pretty fast, so we weren't sure. So we did have that removed and biopsied, but it was all good. I think she has another one behind her ear, but it feels very cyst-like. It doesn't feel irregular, so wouldn't mind taking her in for a checkup, but this month is going to be busy for me. I am actually very anxious. The other thing that happened was I chipped my tooth the other day. I think it was on Thursday. That's why we missed Abby's birthday, because I was so busy. I had to go to the dentist in the evening. I had to fix my tooth. It was actually, I thought it was a filling that had chipped off, but it was actually part of my tooth. It just got too thin and it cracked. So they fixed it, but I'm gonna need a crown. So I've had to book 2 more medical appointments this month, right in between other ones. I know I'm gonna be so exhausted by the time this month is over. I've always dealt with something called anticipatory anxiety. It's anxiety that comes when you anticipate things. For me, it's anticipating medical appointments, doctor's appointments, phone calls, any of that kind of stuff. You know, anything that you're waiting for. My anxiety usually takes off. Sorry, let me find a color. Unfortunately, I woke up this morning in a lot of pain too. Last night I had a bit of a pain crisis with my arm. I haven't had one in quite a while. I was a little bit more active yesterday helping my husband, and the other day I tried to vacuum the apartment to help him a little bit, give him a bit of a break, and it's probably just all catching up to me, but this morning has been really hard, even as I sit here now. Thankfully, it's my other arm, but next week it looks like status quo, but the last 3 weeks of the month are like back-to-back appointments. So plus I have to film some videos that need to go out on specific times. That's always a challenge when you have medical appointments to kind of plan, because as you know, my energy requirements are different. So it's not like I can just do things like normal people. I actually have to plan a little bit and know, you know, when my energy is going to be good, and when it's good, I need to film on those days. It's better that I have it filmed and put away than cutting it too close to the deadline and then, you know, having to push through a bad day. It never ends well. But I do have a couple kind of time-sensitive videos, we'll call them. On the 17th, I am going for a test that's going to see if my diaphragm is still paralyzed. If you are new here, hello, welcome. I had an injury in 2018 at work that led to a slew of problems where I've had 6 surgeries so far. I'm possibly needing a 7th surgery on my left arm, and but we can't proceed with more surgery until my diaphragm heals. My last surgery in April on my right arm. Complication from that, because it did involve the nerves, was my phrenic nerve became partially paralyzed on the right side. So that part of my diaphragm doesn't work, which means I have trouble breathing. The diaphragm is key in breathing, and when it doesn't move, you don't get air in. So my right side of my lung, I've been dealing with that, and that's since last April. I do feel like it's probably healed some. I do, if I compare how I felt breathing wise, like last year to now, I do feel like it's improved, but I did also have this test done late last year. Can't remember what month it was. I think September. And it was still fully paralyzed. So it could just be my body has compensated well enough that I don't notice it anymore. But initially, I was really short of breath. If you go back and watch old videos, you can probably definitely hear it in my voice where I was kind of gasping for air as I was talking. But yeah, I'm going to see. So in a couple of weeks, we're going to see if it's still paralyzed or not. Unfortunately, that appointment's at 8:15 in the morning on a work day. So my husband works. He's my driver. I cannot get my parents to come at 8:15 in the morning to pick me up where I live, to drive me back past where they live. It's just a whole event. So I'm probably going to have to drive myself. I haven't driven that long in years. If I do drive, it's like a couple times a month, and it's a short distance to the grocery store or the pharmacy. This, I have to drive to another city. Now it's under an hour away, but still, anything more than 20 minutes, usually I struggle a lot. So I'm still debating. I might decide to sleep over on my parents' couch that morning because they live closer, so then I can beat rush hour. If I did drive from my house, I would be in the middle of rush hour, and I hate rush hour. Yeah, especially if I'm driving. I hate it. So that's coming up. And on the same day, I have to sit in a dentist chair for 2.5 hours while they prep my tooth for a crown. That is going to be horrible. So the other day when they had to fix my chipped tooth, I forgot to mention, if you're squeamish, I don't know, you might not want to hear this, but they had to inject the freezing into my mouth 8 times, 8 needles. Now, thankfully, I only felt the first 2. I didn't feel the other ones, but my body doesn't react to the anesthetic like it used to, and that's likely due to one of the conditions I have. It is noted in studies that people with something called POTS respond to, that's postural tachycardia syndrome, respond to anesthetic differently. Whether we metabolize it super fast or what, I don't know. It's kind of inconclusive, but ever since that diagnosis, I've struggled at the dentist with their freezing. Lucky they did not have to bring out the big guns. They also have something, a huge jet needle thingy that they actually inject right into your gums instead of your cheek. That hurts. They didn't have to do that, but I did have to get 8 needles of freezing, which is crazy. You can imagine how tense my body was. Also for the fact that they did have to stop in part of it because I could feel too much. So that is something that's relatively new. So anytime I'm at the dentist, even though I think they've given me enough freezing, I'm just a tense ball of stress because I'm waiting to feel something that really hurts. So it's actually pretty traumatizing and gives me a lot of anxiety now. I said to my husband the other day, I wonder if they would consider putting me out for these things, but that comes with its own risks too, right? So yeah, that is on the same day. I know for sure I am going to pay for that, but I also have to have an ultrasound the very next day. Just thinking of it makes me exhausted, but yeah, I've been waiting for a pelvic ultrasound just to check because I've been having some pain, and my family has a history of cysts, so we're just being cautious and doing an ultrasound. I don't want to rebook it because I booked it like 3 months ago. In Canadian healthcare, everything is a wait. I still have not been given a date for my neck MRI that was ordered in September. It's absolutely ridiculous. If I want to pay to get it done privately, I can, but I think the cost is like $700 to $1,500. So I don't really have. That does not look like the right color. H. Thank God I noticed that. Then Zoe's birthday's that weekend, and then at the end of the month, I have a couple more procedures. Maybe I'll talk about those in a later WIP and Chat. Otherwise, I'll have nothing to talk about. But that's kind of upcoming things I have coming. I have been trying to work on this diamond painting every day, but I also have another WIP going that is Mooney Maid's from Mooney Maid. I believe the painting is called Nightfall. I don't know why. I always want to call it something cozy. I did do an unboxing of it. That's the one, so I'm working on both of these side by side. Some days I feel like working on squares, then some days I grab her painting because it's a round. Rounds do go a bit quicker. I find I don't have to be as precise on my placement, and I am enjoying working on that one too. Sometimes I will work on both in one day. Once I am done this, I will put it away, get up, get ready for the day, take the dog for a walk, do whatever I have to do, and then when I sit down again in the afternoon, I will probably pull out the Mooney Maid painting just to switch it up. So it's a good thing I find. I like having 2 WIPs going at the same time. Often I try to do one square and one round because some days that my pain is really bad, squares are harder. So I reach for the rounds on those days. So it's nice to have the option. What I do is I just roll up whatever WIP I'm not working on and put it to the side. But that's what works for me. Again, let me know how you guys are doing. As I said down below, it's always about me, but I want to hear about you guys, what you're up to, how your January's gone so far. Do you have any resolutions? Did you make any New Year's resolutions? Let me know down below. I am not one who does that because then I don't need to be disappointed when I don't stick to them. Oh, I forgot. I also wanted to say a huge thank you for everybody who is here, who's subscribed recently, who's been along for a while. A big thank you to everybody. I recently surpassed 2,000 YouTube subscribers, which was my last milestone, and I am so grateful beyond measure. It just makes my heart smile. And I'm happy that you guys are here, that you show your support, you leave comments, you like my videos, you share with friends, family. anyone you think might take some value out of the content. I really appreciate it. I hope 2024, our little community continues to grow. And yeah, I can't wait to see what the year has in store for me and you guys as well. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really does help the videos get out there. And leave a comment down below. Let me know how you're doing. Or if you don't feel like writing a comment, just leave an emoji. Let me know you got to the end. Pick any emoji. I don't care. If you have trouble picking ideas, how about a bird emoji? Because this painting is of a bird. Otherwise, that's it for me today. I'm going to wrap it up and get on with my day. The dog will need a walk soon. And need to get out in some fresh air. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and until next time, happy diamond painting. Bye.